last thing you saw before entering a tunnel was a lantern being carried by someone who died more than a century ago. Hidden deep within the forests of southeastern Ohio lies one of the state's most legendary destinations, a place where history, tragedy, and folklore become impossible to separate. This is the Moonville Tunnel. And if you're someone who loves uncovering forgotten places with unforgettable stories, this is a road trip you'll want to add to your list. Today, the trail is peaceful. Birds echo through the trees, leaves crunch beneath your boots. But in the late 1800s, this quiet valley sounded very different. Steam locomotives thundered through these hills day and night. Moonville wasn't built around a river or a highway. It existed because of the railroad. The Marietta and Cincinnati Railroad carved its way through the rugged hills of southeastern Ohio in the 1850s, bringing coal miners, railroad workers, and their families. Soon, there was a school, church, a general store, homes, and even a post office. For a time, Moonville was a thriving Appalachian community. But the geography that made the town beautiful also made it dangerous. The valley was so narrow that the railroad tracks hugged the cliffs. There were few safe places to step aside if a train approached. And long before warning systems exist, people often had little time to escape. Several fatal accidents occurred along these tracks, and those tragedies became the foundation of Moonville's most enduring legends. The most famous tells of a railroad brakeman. According to local folklore, he was killed while working the line near the tunnel. Today, visitors claim they still see a lone lantern drifting through the darkness, not attached to a person, not coming from another hiker, just a soft glow moving silently inside the tunnel before disappearing completely. Others tell the story of an elderly woman who regularly walked the railroad to visit family in a neighboring community. One day, she never made it home. Legend says her spirit still appears near the tunnel entrance, watching the tracks she once traveled. Then there's the story many locals grew up hearing. Late at night, some visitors report hearing what appears like a train approaching. The distant rumble, the vibration beneath your feet, the faint echo of a whistle. But there hasn't been a train here in decades. Paranormal investigators have spent countless nights inside the Moonville Tunnel searching for answers. Some claim they've captured unexplained voices on audio recordings. Others describe sudden cold spots, shadowy figures, and footsteps that seem to follow them through the tunnel. Skeptics have their explanations. They point to acoustics, wildlife, shifting temperatures, and the power of expectation. And maybe they're right. Or maybe some places simply refuse to let their stories fade away. By the mid-20th century, the coal industry declined, families moved away, businesses closed, and Moonville slowly disappeared from the map. The railroad was eventually abandoned, leaving nature to reclaim nearly everything the town had built. Everything except the tunnel. Today, hiking the Moonville Rail Trail feels like stepping into another era. As you follow the old railroad bed through the forest, you pass stone foundations, historic bridges, and the remnants of a community that once bustled with life. When you finally reach the tunnel, it's impossible not to pause. The air feels colder. The darkness stretches further than you expect. And for just a moment, understand why so many people leave believing they experienced something they can't explain. Whether you believe in ghosts or simply appreciate the weight of history, Moonville Tunnel is one of Ohio's most fascinating places to explore. It's more than a haunted destination. It's a reminder that behind every abandoned place are real people whose lives shape the legends we tell today. So if your next road trip takes you through southeastern Ohio, consider taking the trail to Moonville. Walk through the tunnel, listen carefully, and if you happen to catch the faint glow of a lantern in the darkness, let the rest of us know what you saw. Until next time, lore keepers, stay curious, because every town has a story, and some are still being whispered.